Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your November soul session. I'm Marlowe, if you're new. And if you're family, welcome back, my friend, and whatnot, or whatever. Yes, this is my face. I know you missed my face. So here's my face. But anywho, we're going to go ahead and jump into you guys' soul session for the month of November. And I'm gonna toss these cards out, and if I'm looking around everywhere, child, look, I'm trying to get used to the fact that I'm on camera again because I ain't done it in a minute, you know what I'm saying? So anywho, but we're gonna go ahead and jump into you guys' soul session, and I'm using the After Tarot. Most of you guys knew that I do not read this in the reverse because the entire deck is already in the reverse, and I've said that like 1,000 times because, you know, stuff and things. But anywho, let's see what's going on with my Scorpios for the month of November. I'm gonna take this sucker out. First card out, we have the Fool card. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of Aries energy. So coming out of October into November, it's looking like a new beginning for you guys, rightfully so. Happy solar return, by the way, Scorpio, you know what I'm saying? Because this is you guys' birthday season. But I get this sense of more or less mostly like true authentic Fool energy, because it feels to me more or less like you guys, those of you who aren't used to my face, child, when I be channeling, I be looking up and around, so bear with your girl. Anywho, but I feel more or less like a really true authentic Fool energy for you guys, in the sense of it's a very carefree kind of nature that I'm feeling for you all. And thank you, guides. Throwing caution to the wind, Scorpio, is what you're doing. It's more or less throwing caution to the wind. So I do feel like the energy that's coming to me is almost as if you've been pushed to a limit, because for some of you guys, how this could have manifested in October could be less than stellar, in the sense of it either being a person that has pushed you to your limit, can't freaking talk, or a situation that you guys have been in that has more or less pushed you to your limit, or almost kind of feeling as if you're backed into a corner. So I feel this is sort of kind of like a forceful new beginning, if I could say it that way. Whoever it is that whose energy I'm picking up on, this wouldn't necessarily be someone where this is like, it doesn't feel like a planned new beginning, like it being something where you're just like, oh yeah, you know, I'm just going to start fresh. Not saying that couldn't be possible for some of you guys. There's an airplane. Y'all, I moved, so you're going to have to get used to that, because I live right by a Navy base. So go ahead and let them do their thing. So sorry to interrupt you guys while you're listening to the show, but I wanted to tell you guys about our new partnership with BetterHelp. If you haven't heard of them, it's an online resource in which you can find your very own friendly local neighborhood therapist, no matter where you are in the world. You sign up, and within 24 hours, they match you with a therapist that's right for you. And you can talk to your counselor every week via phone or video chat. You can also text them between sessions. If you or someone you know has been considering therapy, get started today with BetterHelp. Now let's get back to the show. Are we done? Okay. All right, moving right along. So for me, what this more or less feels like is, for some of you guys, it could be like a series of unfortunate events, but it's more or less being backed into a corner, if I could say it that way. But I feel because of you guys kind of being pushed to this space, it's more or less like throwing caution to the wind. So it's just kind of like, you know what, at this point in the game, what else can I really do? So it's kind of like going with it, if that's making sense. Next card that we have is the Queen of the Cuppies. This is fascinating because it's totally the energy, this whole Uranus and Taurus type of deal thing. I've been talking to a lot of people about this. It's more or less, I feel, what this has done for you, and this is us coming more into November. I feel in the month of November, and I feel like I have to say it, this is something that you guys are going to be dealing with privately. I don't feel that this is going to be anything that you guys are necessarily discussing with other people, but I feel that there's a lot of emotions that need to be processed. Some of you guys may be going to therapy, because most of you guys know, I don't know if I showed you the card, I think I did, but most of you guys know, who've been with me for some time, I look at the Queen of Cups as my therapist card, you know what I'm saying? So some of you guys may literally be, you know, deciding to go to therapy. Some of you who are in relationships could be going to marriage therapy. You could be going to therapy with your kids. Don't know why I feel like I need to say that. I mean, if you want to go with your parents, sure. You know what I'm saying? But of course, this is your energy. Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, with that being a water sign. But I feel more or less it's like with you guys, it's kind of like a divine intervention thing, if I could say it that way. It's being backed into a corner, being into a position where you have to have a new beginning, like tower kind of energy. But I feel with you guys ending up in this state that you're in, it's the best thing for you, especially with it being your solar return, because I always tell everyone during your solar return, you have really dope energy in the sense that everything that you do is kind of like magnified, if I could say it that way. So it's like if you intend something, it's like spirit matches it like a 401k, you know what I'm saying? So I feel coming into November, a lot of you guys are going to be doing a little bit of shadow work, kind of processing emotions, going to therapy, and facing some things that you may not have wanted to face. And another thing my guides are telling me specifically, for some of you guys, this has to do with parental figures. With some of you, it's like issues you have specifically with your mom. But others of you, it's like, it's romantic kind of stuff. It's like almost being, if you got divorced or if you're in a marriage or were in a marriage or a relationship or whatever, it's a lot of stuff in reference to that. So it's parental stuff and past relationships. There's a lot of stuff that you've been through in reference to those things that you haven't really coped with, because I feel like you guys have kind of been in survival mode, if I can say it that way. Oh, all right, here we go. Next card that we have is the Chariot. Come on, autofocus, stop being a jerk. The hell, okay. I cannot be this close and you not work. Anyway, so we have the Chariot, that's Cancerian energy. So of course that's positive movement forward and getting back on one accord. So I mean, Scorpio, look, I can sit up here and try to tease 1,000 things out of this, but I mean, I feel like you guys read is pretty straight to the point. It's looking like y'all are coming out of October into November, like with a clean slate in so many words. And it's more or less dealing with unprocessed emotions that you haven't dealt with. Like I said, some of you are going to go to therapy. You may have seen the BetterHelp ad already. Shout out to BetterHelp. Link is in the description box below this video. Moving right along. But I feel with that, you guys kind of sorting through these things that have been brought to the surface by whatever it is that you guys went through in October that put you into this particular position are in your highest good, in the sense that you're moving forward kind of in union with yourself. Because I feel like there's been kind of a detachment with that. Wonderful. Then we have the Three of Swords. So we're all talking about healing here. I look at the Three of Swords as your mind attacking your heart. So I feel, dude, whatever this is that y'all went through, I don't know what it is, because I definitely don't remember the soul session from last month, y'all. And my guides are not bringing it back to my memory. But whatever it is that you guys went through last month, it could seem like some really, I mean, because how it feels to me, it feels really shitty. I'm just being honest. But whatever it is that you guys went through last month, it could seem like worst case scenario. But what it's looking like for me so far, it was divine intervention, because it got you guys to where it is that you are now, to be able to face something that I think you would not have faced otherwise. And that sounds a lot like Uranus and Taurus kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? It's more or less like the thing that all of us utilize as like a crutch, right? Because it's different for a lot of other people. For some people, it's romantic relationships. For some people, it's money, especially Tauruses, like myself. And for other people, you know, I mean, it could be overworking, whatever. And the pattern that's been kind of manifesting itself to me is the fact that with Uranus being in Taurus, the thing that people have been able to utilize as a distraction, that thing is being ripped from you. So it's like you're forced to kind of face things that you haven't faced before, because the whole purpose of it is to like provoke change, in so many words. So it's something that all of us, the entire collective, has been doing consistently, that's been leading to our own demise. And there's like, you know, our little, you know, crutch that we have, and it's like that crutch being kicked from under you, and it's like, figure it out without this thing as a distraction. So ultimately it ends up working out well. And what I'm seeing so far, because I have 2 more cards for you guys, but what it's looking like so far is that if my Scorpios take advantage of this clean slate that you have, if you take advantage of your solar return time and whatnot, or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and kind of face this emotional stuff or go to therapy, there will be positive movement forward. You will kind of like vindicate or resurrect like a lost part of yourself, heal, and thus move forward. Now, our last two cards, we have the Knight of Cups, and oh, come on with it, we have the freaking Star card. Now, this reminds me of the weekly that I did for the first week of November. It's like the last 2 days of October that lead into the first week of November. And both of these cards came out. The Star was the challenge for that week. And I forgot where the Knight of Cups showed up, but it was one of those things. But I feel a very similar energy here. It's like the whole premise here, Scorpio, is in some sense or another, I feel like you guys have kind of limited yourself up to this point in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And I mean, I'm not getting information on what it is specifically. So that kind of says for me, this is something different for each person. But damn, and that's like what the weekly was the week before that. God damn it. Anyway, but it's more or less like you guys have limited yourself in some way, shape, form, or fashion to where it's almost like there's a part of yourself you've left behind and it's kind of conforming to, did I even show these to you guys? I think I did. I don't know, y'all. I got to get used to the fact that y'all don't see the cards no more. And I ain't got time to be doing all these camera angles where y'all can see both. So anybody got time? Come on, dagnabbit. Really? Okay, there we go. That's a Star card. So anyway, that's Aquarius energy. But no, I feel like the whole premise with this is, and then, okay, my guys just said offer. Some of you guys are going to get an offer that is like a dream come true type of thing for you. And the whole reason why the first half of November is focused on yourself and your own healing. It's not necessarily about a full-on transformation. It's more or less about you guys just taking one step into the right direction. So I kind of feel like with the Scorpio, it's like you guys kind of got pushed off of a cliff into your most ideal situation. So whatever seemed like it was the worst possible thing that happened to you guys in October, what it's looking like for me is like this is something that really is turning out for your highest good. Because I feel this is something with some of you guys, there's a need to, do I want to say that, child? That's what it says, something about somebody with drinking. Watch that. Don't drink too much, okay? But the other thing is like with some of you guys, it's more or less you needing to get like, how do I want to say this? Because I feel like the phrase I'm hearing in my head, it sounds lame as hell and I don't even want to say that out of my mouth. But it's almost like, I might have to say it because they're not giving me anything else. It's like getting high on your own elixir, getting high on your own supply, proverbially speaking. You feel what I'm saying? Of more or less like you re-engaging with yourself. It feels like a reunion and a remarriage because like I said, there's a part of yourself that you left behind that's being vindicated. But I feel like this part of yourself would have never been vindicated lest what occurred in October happened to get you here. Because I feel like this is just a place in your life that you would have consistently tried to avoid with whatever the thing is that kind of bottomed out for you guys. But ultimately, it's getting you into alignment with your true and authentic self. That's literally what it is that I'm seeing. So oh my God. Okay. Thank you guys. That's lit. Okay. So it's the whole story about like what Scorpio represents. Like Scorpio is seen as like, the phoenix rising from the ashes, because you guys know like with the Wheel of Fortune or with the World card, and I talk about the 4 fixed signs that those cards represent. And if you notice, like the symbol for Scorpio is like a bird, right? It's like an eagle. And I mean, everyone has a myriad of different interpretations there, from like the Holy Spirit, you know, phoenix rising from the ashes, all the things. So what I'm seeing with this Scorpio, November, your birthday season, is very much a transformational month, as well as, and they're telling me other stuff too, November 11th is going to be an important day for you. I mean, it is for the entire collective, you know what I'm saying? But November is always a transformational month for the collective. It's like every single year I find with all the people that I work with, there's like this huge major shift or transformation or aha moments that people have a tendency to get in November. But I feel even more so for my Scorpios, this is important because this is almost like a death and a rebirth in a very literal sense. It's like the death for you guys happened in October, and what I'm seeing here is more or less like a glimpse of you guys' rebirth in the month of November. And I feel like that's an appropriate time for said rebirth. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, that has been your soul session for November, Scorpio. I don't know if I'm doing extendeds or not yet. If it is, it'll be in the description box below. If it's not, then I didn't. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, I love your freaking face, and I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends. I'm gonna get smoother at turning this off, and bye, Scorpio.